Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I am doing a two-book review today. So the theme of this, the linking denominator is the word grave. So the two books that I have are, this one here is Grave Matter by Juno Dawson. And just a word on how gorgeous the cover of this book is, and I've kind of dressed to match. And then the second one is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. Also, kind of cool cover. I love the illustrations in this one, particularly the one on the back of Death, the grey lady on her steed. It's gorgeous. So both of these books are, I would say, they're more aimed, say Grave Matter, because of the subject matter, is more for an older YA, or it's really more YA. I think the Graveyard Book tends to veer a bit towards more kind of middle school kind of target audience, because the protagonist, when we first meet him, he is very young. Bod is essentially a baby when we first meet him, and he does grow up throughout the book to the age of, I think, 15, 16. But he kind of grows up and he leaves eventually. But even though obviously I'm an adult, I adored both of these books. Let me start with Grave Matter by Juno Dawson. So Juno Dawson is an author who I really, really like. I do not think I've read a bad Juno Dawson book. I've enjoyed everything I've read from her. Particularly loved Clean. I thought it was interesting. It was quite deep and dark in some points about a girl that goes to rehab and kind of what that entails. And I've just read another Juno Dawson book called Wonderland, which is kind of, I would say, a bit of a dark take on the Alice in Wonderland story, which, I love. I love any kind of dark take on Alice in Wonderland, and I'll do a video based just on that book because I really, really liked it. But this Juno Dawson book, I will be honest, I saw the cover and I was like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. It's just absolutely beautiful. So what this book is about is Eliza is, she dies in a car crash, and her boyfriend is trying to come to terms with that and trying to deal with this. So this book, there is a lot of trigger warnings. That's why I said I don't really think this is for a young YA audience, because the subject matter is a boy who was driving a car. He was in a car crash. He's a teenager, and in the car crash, his girlfriend was killed. His girlfriend is Eliza, the girl on the cover, and he's kind of coming to terms with that. And this book starts off with him at her funeral, and sort of where his mind goes and what he does to try and get her back. I'm not going to say much more because it's obviously a very small book and I don't want to give away the entire plot of the book. I found it really emotive and emotional. Like I said, it really, trigger warnings, very much deals kind of with grief and how people, deal with grief and try to come to terms with it, and, what lengths they may go to get their loved ones back, and sort of how the mind works in those situations of grief and loss. The book itself, like I said, is just, look at even that little detail with the spider inside. It is beautiful. It has sort of some drawings in between the book, so you can kind of see there. It's an exquisite book. Like I said, even if the content hadn't been that great, the book itself is just so lovely that it was, worth it. But the actual content, I really loved it. And it is going to be one that I'm going to read again, just to kind of go over the story again and just immerse myself in it. But I really, really enjoyed this. And yeah, if you veer towards that and kind of darker proclivities, I think you would enjoy it. And then this one is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This is very famous. It's got the Carnegie Medal winner. What was that? 2010, clearly. I'm late to the party on this one, but I like Neil Gaiman. And I just hadn't read this. Again, I probably kind of thought, oh, this is more of a middle grade children's book, but I don't really read much of. But actually, just loved it. So, Bod is the boy there. Again, I would say this veers definitely towards the darker side. I said The Graveyard. And it's about a boy who, as a baby, his entire family is killed. So his parents and his sibling is killed. And the little boy kind of runs off and he ends up in this graveyard, and the ghosts in the graveyard protect him that night from the killer, the person that is hunting him, and they raise him. So this is a boy being raised in a graveyard, talking to these ghosts, learning things from the ghost world, trying to come to terms with the ghost world, but then also you know, the living world, you know, can he ever fit back into the living world, about the friendships that he makes, about his guardian, who I love, who is this lovely, I would say, vampire-ish character, and also about this killer that's stalking him. So there are some really dark elements and moments in this book, and there's a great, you know, the climax of when the killer's kind of stalking him. It's fantastic. I really, really love this book. I really love kind of immersing myself in the world of this book, and I just thought it was fantastic. So like I said, even though it is essentially a children's book, I enjoyed it, and I had a great time reading it. I had a great time reading both of these books. So yeah, so if those are things that you think you'd be interested in, give them a shot. I'm not going to be, just sort of a side note, not going to be doing like star ratings and things anymore. I'm literally just reading, hopefully, all books that I will like. I'm really tailoring my tastes to what I actually like, not just reading things for the sake of it. So if I talk about something, I like it, you know, and if it sounds interesting to you, please give it a go. But I don't want to do star ratings because I'm just not, I just don't think that that is effective for me anymore. So yeah, so literally I'm just going to talk about stuff I like. So yeah, so those are the books. Let me know if you've read them. Let me know what you think. And then also, if you have any recommendations that you think I might like based on these, put them in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you all again very soon. Bye.